Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Cymarshall Law Show. Today we have a very special guest with us, a man who's been lighting up the comedy scene with us with his quick wit, charisma, ferocious style for over 3 decades. He's a force to be reckoned with, a true master of his craft, one of the funniest comedians on the planet, according to me. He was born in Chicago, raised in New York, had time in Jersey, had time in LA. Aries has been making us laugh for as long as I remember. Since 14, he's been killing it. His early days for impressions of James Brown and Jack Nicholson at the Uptown Comedy Club. Welcome, Aries Spears. I watched a bunch of your interviews. I didn't want to have the same ass questions that you had before. I watched your drink, chanks, joint, everything. So I just wanted to get straight into it and ask a question that I hadn't heard no one ask you before, brother.
Well, before you do that, first off, let me give you a million apologies, my guy, because I know that we were supposed to do this a couple times earlier, but my schedule just got so crazy and so hectic that I kind of was tardy to the party. So thank you for your patience, brother. I appreciate you.
No doubt. You're a legend. I was gonna be patient forever. I was it was all good vibes over here. I was like, I hope he killing it out in Canada. So brother, I appreciate that. So I got a question. So what goes through your brain when you hear this?
Because he could be out robbing somebody or carrying a gun to school, but the brother's here to make you laugh. So make sure you give it up for my man Aries Spears.
Yeah, that takes me back, man. That obviously was my television debut on Def Comedy Jam, and this was before Martin was Martin with the Martin Show. But I definitely knew who he was from Do the Right Thing and House Party. So to just be on something like that was groundbreaking for that time with such a funny leader in Martin Lawrence and a respectable tandem and Stan Latham and Russell Simmons was just. It was powerful, man.
What inspired you to start doing comedy so young? Because you was mad young then. Like, what inspired you to have that in you so young?
I was an 80s baby. So I grew up watching, Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live. And he was such a force to be reckoned with comedically. And it was something that me and my dad kind of made like a tradition where every Saturday night, we would park in front of that TV and watch one of the most incredible talents we've ever seen. So in between that, and I remember the first stand-up I really saw was Delirious. So that to me just made me want to really dive in head first, And then I did a little bit of research and realized that Eddie Murphy started stand-up when he was in his teens. And, we both have the same birthday, same zodiac sign.
Oh, for real?
So, yeah,
that's
April
crazy.
3rd, maybe. So, yeah.
Same day as my grandma. What up? Dope.
Yeah, man. I just took all that as inspiration and just said, you know what, go for it.
So here's another question. How did your mother's career as a jazz singer influence your comedic style?
I never call myself a singer because I know I'm not by any means, not like Jamie Foxx. But I think I inherited some of that from my mother because while I'm not a singer, I can kind of sing. So I use that in my stand-up comedically in different ways. So I would say that's probably been the biggest influence.
Word. Okay. So I know you had some time in North Brunswick, New Jersey. I went to middle school out there, and my older brother actually had some classes with you. I don't know if you remember. He said he used to call him England because he had just moved from England. But he said he used to have the class rolling. Was there ever a time you came across where you had like an encounter with a teacher that wasn't really feeling your jokes in class that actually had to see your success and you came across them in the future? Did that ever happen?
I think there was one particular teacher, my woodshop teacher. But other than that, I was such a nightmare to deal with that I don't think any of them believed in me or liked me for that matter.
Word. Yo, did watch a lot of your interviews, and I feel like not enough people talk about the high level of intellect that the best comedians have. And when I hear you sit down and break down comedy, it's very clear to me that you have a superior intellect when it comes to comedy. You're super insightful, super intelligent. So that made me think about the question, who is the smartest person you know, and what's the greatest lesson that they taught you?
One of the smartest people I've ever known has to be my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe most mothers have that intuition and that intellect. Because a loving, great mother guides you and protects you, and basically is your Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my mother personally, but comedically, I think the smartest comic alive is Dave Chappelle.
Okay. So, is there funny in your family, or is it that solely you, or is that you got like funny uncles, or or like is it just you, or is there like a cousin that your family barbecues with that you crack with, like, or is it just solely you, or you got a funny family?
Both my mother and father was funny. My mother was funny in a different way, more of a stern way, a serious way, where my father was just straight, was a straight clown. But they both were funny in their own right. So, kind of like the yin and the yang between them, I thought was a great mixture for me to grow up around.
It's a good answer. I understand that. So I know that, Nas is one of your favorite MCs, if not your favorite MC. I was thinking about, because I watched the Drink Champs interview, and I feel the same way about Nas. So I was thinking about his joints and thinking about you. Then I thought about his joint, Dr. Knockboots, where he basically says his favorite parts of each female to make the perfect female. So if you had to do the same thing, but for comedy, what parts of comedians would you take to make the perfect comedian?
Oh, that's Dave Chappelle's wit combined with Patrice O'Neal's fearlessness and ferociousness. Bill Burr's truth, and Eddie Murphy's overall talent.
Good answers. I love those. Yo, I seen you twice in stand up, and I've seen Tommy Davidson twice, and I've seen Dave Chappelle once, and I know those are two of your favorite comedians because I listened to your interviews. Brother, I don't be gassing people head up. Like you made me laugh harder or just as much as both of them, just so you know, like you are on top of your motherfucking game. Like, and I appreciate you for that, just so you know. Like you're all the way up there. But
listen, man, I as a New Yorker, an alpha male, and an Aries, again, zodiac sign, fire sign, I can have my moments of supreme confidence that borders on cocky. But at the same time, I also believe in humility, because when you think your shit don't stink, life has a way of being funny and pulling the comedic rug from under you. So I'm saying that to say, in my most humble fashion, I thank you. I'll take it. I would never claim that because I think those dudes are gladiators, man. But I'll take it if that's what you want to give it.
Absolutely,
I'll take it.
Absolutely. Yo, how hard you had me falling out my chair, like. So yeah, you got that.
I appreciate it.
No doubt. Yo, if you could have any actor play your life in a movie, who would it be and why?
I'd have to say Eddie Murphy, because I mirrored so much of my style and my swag off of Eddie, especially back in the days of Delirious and Raw. So I always kind of saw myself as a mirror image of him. And I can't think of nobody better that could do it, especially, again, from a comedic standpoint.
Gotcha. If you did have an autobiographical movie, what would be the title of it and why?
Probably would be Still Standing. Because I think a lot of people want to see me fail and don't necessarily care for me because I'm brash and because I say some of the things I say. Which, everything I do is always in the name of comedy. Now, whether or not I always succeed in the attempt, we could debate all day because, like Jordan says, through failure comes success.
Right.
So certainly everything I've tried to do comedically hasn't been what I wanted it to be. But, that's what you get when you take a shot. And
Right.
you have to take shots in this game. Otherwise, how can you win from sitting on the bench?
Facts. What would you say is the biggest misconception about you?
Is that, I'm difficult and, I'm an asshole. I'm very direct. I've always been that. And I have a short patience for bullshit. I'm extremely blunt and honest, and that comes with a price. And sometimes, a lot of times, especially in this business, people don't do self-investigation. It's like high school. They go off of what they hear and they run with that instead of taking the time to actually invest in themselves to see if what they heard is true.
Right. So, my guy, I read a lot of autobiographies. It's my favorite type of book. And when I hear you talk, like I said, it's clear to me because I read these books how smart you are. Yo, have you ever thought about writing your own autobiography? I feel like that's something that the people probably need.
It's kind of crossed my mind. I don't know that I'm ready to do that yet because I think I'm still trying to figure out some other things that are more important. But definitely, I think at some point down the line, that's something that's to be explored.
So I heard how you were saying how you could possibly be blackballed and you have certain reasons why you think that, and I understand those reasons, and it had me thinking of another person who is out here looking like they might kind of be blackballed, but when I think of you and this person, I'm like, them motherfuckers should probably get together. Have you ever had any crossings with Dame Dash? Because what the realness you bring and what he's seeming to try and bring sounds like y'all two could do something together. Did you ever have any crossings with him?
No, and I wouldn't expect that we would, only because his forte is music, where mine's is comedy. So because I'm not really in the music biz, I don't really see how we would cross paths unless he was actually producing a film or a television show. I think more suitable for that in terms of a guy who's hilariously funny that I feel like also might be blackballed comedically is Corey Holcomb. Now, prior to this situation with me and Corey, we were cool as fuck. But, since then we've kind of parted and stayed our separate ways. But Corey comedically is a monster. I always said that just because he and I have beef, that doesn't change what's obvious in terms of who he is and what he is as a comedian. He's still a powerhouse comic. And as a comic, I'm a fan. As a person, I'm not a fan. But as a comic, I'm a fan because comedy comes first. But yeah, I think there's a lot of comics, though, even the ones who aren't blackballed. If comics, I think, as a whole, could come together like they do in the NBA and form super teams, what we could do creatively would be undeniable and explosive. But black people, we've always had it ingrained in us to not really work together. And it's unfortunate because when you look at all the powerful pieces of talent out there, it's long overdue as to why we haven't seen a movie with multiple black comics with big names starring movies together.
Right. That's facts on facts on facts. I always wonder why that doesn't happen, and I can only think of, somehow it's Hollywood being racist. That's the bottom line to me. But
well, I mean, Hollywood has always been racist, but at some point, we do have power. So if the powers that be were to come together and form like Voltron, that supersedes racism.
So, but what do you think about like when black people did try to do stuff like that? I know you heard of the massacres, them burning down our black cities. You don't think they would try? I guess we got to try somewhere. But every time I see black people try
this is a different time from that. Mm-hmm. And we're in an age now where it's like, look, at the end of the day, money talks. Mm-hmm. And certainly again between the buying power that is the black community in terms of films and box office receipts, we have power both in front of and behind the camera.
Right.
We just don't seem to do a good job in terms of galvanizing and coming together and doing what we got to do for the greater good.
What do you think might be able to change that, if anything?
Well, it starts with people like Cat Williams not doing the interview he did on Shay Shay, which does nothing but divide us. You know, as influential and as powerful and as funny as Cat is, if he used that energy and that power in a more positive light, I think the outcome would be better suited for what we're trying to do or what we could do.
Right. Do you think maybe comedians don't do it because of the competition? Like they feel because of the competition.
But competition against whom? You know, again, I don't want to get too deep, but this is the number that slavery has always played on Black people.
Right.
You know, so when white people tell us to get over it, what they don't understand is that this is a deep history that has been sewn into the very mental fabric of who we are.
Right.
You know, it's to be envious of one another and jealous and not stick together. And, you know, it's field Negro versus house Negro. It's light-skinned nigga versus dark-skinned nigga.
Right.
It's good hair versus nappy hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just always been ingrained in us since then. It's to hate each other instead of working with each other.
Right. You ain't said nothing but the truth. So, back to my questions. I kind of steered off. What's the most memorable feedback you ever got from a fan, if any?
You know, after a while, it all is just, you know, powerful love, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime people, you know, speak to me with a certain sense of genuine feelings and words, and, you know, they call me legend or the GOAT or tell me how much I've impacted their lives or during painful moments, you know, you take all of that to heart.
Right. So speaking about you being a legend, I started thinking about, you know, your time in Jersey. Another question I had that popped into my head the other day. Have you ever had a crossing with, because from Brunswick, as far as I can think for like our culture, you are the biggest thing to come out of here. The only other person that I thought that might be on that level is Tim Howard, the USA goalkeeper.
Absolutely. You know what? I've said that to myself all the time. Tim Howard. And the funny thing is, I was never really, because we were in different grades, but I was never really, my dealings with Timmy were never that much. It was more his brother Chris. Because we were in the same grade, in the same group. So to this day, I know Timmy knows me. I know Timmy, but I've never seen him since childhood. So it'd be interesting if I could bump into him.
Right. Yeah, it would be. I would love to hear y'all have a conversation. That would, man, if you could get him on your podcast, that would be the shit right there. I don't know how that can happen, but let's put good positive energy out into the universe to make that happen. What is, I already asked that. Can you share a memorable story about how you handled a heckler and it didn't go the way you thought it might have went?
There's been plenty of those, and they mainly deal with women, where, you know, and it's never been a case of I couldn't handle the heckler couldn't handle me. So when I say what I say, the way that I say it, I've had everything from ketchup bottles thrown at me, pitchers of beer, women trying to approach the stage, dudes wanting to fight me after the show. So, you know, but that's part of the business sometimes.
Right. Damn. What's the most unexpected source of inspiration you found for your comedy?
I don't know that there's anything necessarily inspirational. I think the thing that puts my mind at the most relaxed state so that I can think about comedy is, you know, those times when I wake up in a hotel and it's just, you know, the shades are drawn, the TV's off, there's no lights. And I just lay in the bed in complete darkness and silence and allow myself to think.
Mm-hmm. How do you handle the highs and lows of a career in comedy?
Weed and vodka.
What's your favorite type of weed?
I don't smoke as much as I used to. Once upon a time ago, I was real Wiz Khalifa with it, but it's so recreational for me now on such a small level. I might smoke maybe twice a year, and I'm really trying to quit at that. Right. I just like to sometimes just kick back and have a drink.
Got you. What's the most memorable performance you've ever given?
Dude, that's like asking Jordan what's his favorite game. You know, again, not trying to be cocky, but I've had so many explosive performances that there's too many to name, but I dig them all.
Right. Got you. That's a good. I understand that completely. All right. So, what is the most surprising thing you learned from your time in the comedy scene?
You know, it's just the evolution of it. You know, there's never a point where you feel like you learned all you could learn and you're done. There's no such thing as finished. So, just always trying to find new ways to discover something new.
Mm-hmm. You ever been to a Diddy party?
No. And even with the controversy, you know, I know how to leave when I see shit that don't look right. But for the excitement of what a Diddy party is, I'm sure it ain't all chaos. I'm sure there's some bad broads at them parties. So yeah, I'd go if I was invited. But the minute the dicks come out, I'm out.
Yeah. How do you balance your personal life with your career in comedy?
You know, to me, it's almost one and the same because I don't see what I do as a job. So, you know, what you might call a career, I just call my life.
Right.
So the two for me go hand in hand.
Right. That's dope. Is there any story you can share about a time when your comedy did impact someone in a way that you didn't expect?
No, not really. Because you know, everybody comes to a comedy club with the intention to laugh. So you know, going in what they want, and I know going in what I want to get from them. So it's a marriage. So nothing would surprise me in that sense, because why else would you be there other than to enjoy what I have to give you, and vice versa.
Got you. Do you have a favorite movie?
Man, dude, again, that's a hard question because there's so many. I'm like most people. You know, most people are fans of movies, and I'm a movie connoisseur. So it's hard to say what my favorite is because I just got too many I love.
That's cool. So coming down to pretty much the end of my joints, just a couple more questions. If you could give advice to a younger you, what would it be?
Learn when to shut the fuck up. You don't always have to say everything that's on your mind.
I'll take that.
You know, I remember one time I had a dinner with Chris Rock. Long story short, I was trying to get him to possibly produce something that I wanted to do. And at the end of the dinner, he said, "Look, man, I can only give you 3 pieces of advice. Keep writing, try to be as funny as you can, and don't piss these white folks off."
Words to live by. Words to live by. I think that's everything. I mean, well, I kind of want to ask you what you think about the whole Drake Cole Kendrick beef. I'll be lying if I didn't want to know your opinion on that.
You know, man, I'm 49 years old, so my knowledge of rap, I'm old school. I'm what they call an old head. So I don't really, if it ain't from my era, which is the 90s and the 2000s and maybe even the 80s, I don't fuck with these new cats, man. I don't stay on top of all the new hip hop news. You know, it's just too young for me.
I'll take it. Man, yo, Aries, I think that's everything. You've been a great guest, like the best. Like, I really appreciate this. Like, I really appreciate it. You know how you was like, how you met Nas and you was like, yo, nigga Nas. Yo, you up there for me like a comedian. So to have this conversation with you is like, you made my day, brother.
So listen, man, like I said, dude, a million apologies. I thank you for your patience because I know some dudes would have been a little upset. But thanks for bearing with me, man. And I'm sorry I was tardy, but my schedule was just fucking bananas, man.
No doubt, no doubt. It's all good, brother. Is there anything you want people to know? There's anything before.
Check out my podcast. It's called Spears and Steinberg. It's available on all streaming platforms. Y'all can always slide in my DMs and my Instagram under Aries Spears. I'll chop it up with you, send you the links. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Spearsberg Pod, SpearsBergPod. Hit like and subscribe. And, whenever I talk about the podcast, I tell people, man, hey, listen, I know it's like over 500 episodes. It could be a little intimidating, but start from the beginning and go in order because it matters in terms of context, characters, callbacks, jokes. And, it's like watching a sitcom in season 1 where, you see the family and you get to watch the kids grow from being kids to, teenagers and young adults. If you watch it or try to listen to it out of order, you're doing yourself a disservice. Binge, people, I always say it's like masturbation and potato chip. Once you start, you can't stop.
Yo, Aries, I appreciate it, brother. I hope you have a safe time out there in Canada. Hope you get home safely to your family. Yo, brother, we appreciate you. We're super proud of you. Keep killing it out there, brother. I hope the clouds open up for you. Yo, blessings, brother.
All love, my guy. Thank you, dog.
No doubt. Peace.
One love.
Yeah, they claim that it was two of him. But now, I'm just the one that you should choose to win. I'll make you lose your grin with a punchline that will remove your chin. Go team, I'm cheering on when I'm not in the game. Cause I know I'm getting mine like a rich kid is when Christmas came. Cymarshall Law, I never had a different name. I can spit a rap that could hold a gun to your head and lift your chain. They told me bring the pain, I leave you ninjas in the rain. You gonna miss the train, see me in the plane when I did to Spain. International law, I used to have a green card. Now he's hard like playing hide and seek, trying to beat God. At beatboxing, I suggest you keep watching. Cause you never in the game, but I'm the favorite team option. You get destroyed this prime Floyd when he's boxing. I'll make you move out of town and get employed in East Scotland. Chief rockin', nobody rockin' the chief. Warrior with the sword of death, honor and peace. My every song has to slap and that's a fact. Beat pulled me in so I had to grab the track. Our time is now and even after that. We have to black going back to back to back. Cause every song has to slap and that's a fact. Beat pulled me in so I had to grab the track. Our time is now and even after that.
My hustling flow, war buckle a foe. Word searching, trying to solve the puzzle to blow. You fall nose running cause it's covered in snow. Trying to grab the mic, talking about you busting the flow. Watch this next flurry, I got the best worry. Big season, Kim said it's time to get money. We Splash Brothers, not Clay and Steph Curry. This the school of hard knocks. You ain't take the test, dummy. It's a new day, new challenge. You gassed up a few gallons. Passed up Jordan, spend my cash up on New Balance. I've been a threat, fuck all the capping on the internet. Make no mistake, I'm here for the cash and the gingerbread. Mad nice, black belt poems, don't take no advice. If the cash right, say less, don't have to ask twice. Pass mic and watch me get darker than last night. Is why you punks is sweating and clenching your eyes tight. I'm here still in thunder, revealing blunders. Won't follow nobody unless I know what he is under. You be the prey, but I'd rather be the hunter. The industry is fixed and be bleeding brothers. Running game, cheating suckers, thieving fuckers. Too many flavors, so the streets they love us. Too many rhymes and beats, too deep to touch us. We rule anytime you too weak to run us.
We have to black going back to back to back. My every song has to slap and that's a fact. Beat pulled me in so I had to grab the track. Our time is now and even after that. We have to black going back to back to back. Cause every song has to slap and that's a fact. Beat pulled me in so I had to grab the track. Our time is now and even after that. Hey, you, why are you still here? The show's over. Go home. Go live your life. We love you. Cymarshall Law. Check out cyvision.online if you're going to stick around and you have nothing to do today except listening to me talk. I'm joking. I'm kind of serious though. hiphopintheflesh.com or cyvision.online. I'll see y'all soon. Peace, love, and positive energy, and I'm out like that. 1.